Hello, you guys. Come on in. Begin to like, love, and share it. Come on in. We'll give you a few minutes to gather. Be sure to like, love, and share this webinar tonight. And also make sure you start a watch party right where you are. So come on in to the Healthy Living webinar. We are about to start in just a few moments. So remember to like, love, and share. Also, start your watch parties wherever you are. Thank you for gathering with us on tonight. Yes, come on in, come on in, come on in. Let's get those numbers up. Come on in, come on in. Thank you for starting your watch parties. Thank you for sharing this. Share it everywhere you can and make sure you are liking and loving it. We are so excited on tonight. I have Chef Margo with us, and
Woo!
we're going to be learning a lot from her tonight. So we are so excited to be students as she teaches us. Amen. So come on, gather, 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 gather. Begin to like, love, and share and start your watch parties. We're going to start in just a brief moment. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And be sure to comment throughout the night, you guys. Make sure you have your comments and questions for Chef Margo. We would love to hear what you have to say and answer any questions that you may have for her on tonight. All right, so let's get started. We are so excited to have you come in on tonight. I have again our guest for tonight, who is Chef Margo, right here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I am so excited to have her on. She is going to be sharing with us some pivotal information that will help jumpstart some of us, and those of us who have already jumpstart. She will help us to continue in this transition to healthy living. So I'm so excited for her to be on tonight. We also have a great giveaway, so you have to be present to
Yeah.
win. So make sure you stay and tune in throughout this entire broadcast on tonight. I'm so excited. So if you don't know already, as I shared before, my testimony and story of starting this entire Healthy Living webinar. I started this Healthy Living webinar because the Lord told me to get healthy, begin to change my lifestyle. And for me, I thought, well, you can look at someone and you see a certain weight and you may think they're healthy, but I always say that may not be true. And so I began to do a self reflection on myself and began to cut back in a lot of areas, but I knew that I needed help. And so one of the things that the Lord also told me to do was to bring people on the platform who can share, people who are skilled, who are experts in this healthy living thing, because I'm not. So to bring people on to help us in this healthy living transition. So I'm so excited to have our guest on tonight, who is a good friend. Her name is Chef Margo. Well, she's Margo, but we call her Chef Margo. And she's very good at what she does. So she's going to be talking to us about the different types of diets or lifestyles that we could do, and then she's going to be telling us about meal prepping. And again, we have a great, great, great giveaway at the end, so you want to be sure to stay tuned. So she's going to take over from here, and make sure you like, love, and share. Start your watch parties, and also be sure to ask questions, because she will be answering those questions for you on tonight. All right. So without further ado, we thank God for Chef Margo.
Oh, that is
Yay!
so kind of you. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having me. You're a dear friend, and I'm so excited to be here tonight.
Thank
Um,
you.
and I thought it would be a great place to start from the beginning, and I mean the very beginning, because we're all on a journey here. This does not start and stop. This is a constant, consistent journey we're all on.
Yes.
So mine started obviously when I was a child. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I grew up in farm country USA. So for me, that meant, I mean, there was so much dairy in my diet. There was tons of meat. There was always butter in every meal, and it was delicious. And I had a wonderful time eating it growing up.
Yes.
But as a teenager and as I continued to get older, I realized I was experiencing some issues, kind of like I dealt with some very bad cystic acne growing up. I had very bad acne on my face and on my neck.
Wow.
Um, so with that, that led me to explore food a little bit. I kind of just got drawn into searching for a diet that might help me a little bit with my skin condition. So with that being said, I started to experiment a little bit, eating more healthy. I mean, I did not eat a salad, I think, until I was maybe 18, or
Wow.
like, some steamed vegetables. I mean, everything was laden with butter. So
Wow.
when I started exploring that, I gravitated towards vegetarian food, which was very healthy at that time. We're talking maybe 15 years or so ago. So
Wow.
yeah, as I started to incorporate vegetables into my diet more and more, and maybe one of the first things I eliminated was dairy from my diet. So I was still eating meat, um, but with that, eliminating all the dairy, I my skin got better immediately. It was so amazing. And this drew me toward a career in cooking for other people and helping other people. So I went to culinary school. I got my degree in culinary arts, and I noticed a lot of the chefs there looked really unhealthy to me. Their complexion was kind of purple, their skin was kind of scaly, because they weren't taking care of themselves. They were just kind of eating everything and anything, and I just thought that that was such a peculiar thing. If you're gonna feed yourself and feed other people, why wouldn't you want to feed them the best that you possibly could?
Yeah.
So this again led me to exploring more diets and how people were eating and what was helping people. And so with that culinary degree, I took it further and focused on nutrition. So now as a professional chef, I specialize in special dietary needs. So different people do need, different things, and that's kind of where I've been dabbling.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So you didn't eat a salad until 18.
I know. I'm embarrassed to say that now because you know where I am on my food journey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I didn't. And even then, that had like a gallon of ranch dressing. It was more like, can I get a side of salad with my ranch dressing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
But
that's where I started.
one thing I love that you said though is what we can delve in even more, even as you begin to talk about the different lifestyles
Yeah.
and the ways people eat. But I love that what you just expressed about how just eating or changing our eating habits can change something that we're going through in our bodies or
Yes.
going through in our health. Like
Hmm.
that is so eye-opening for so many people, because I just remember clearly when I was probably, I think it was in middle school to high school, I used to have really bad back problems. Like, I mean, my back would just hurt so badly. And
Hmm.
um I believe it was God giving this to me in a dream. But one day I woke up and my back would break out too. And
Hmm.
I remember waking up and as soon as I sat up in my bed, I said, I'm not going to drink another soda. Now, this just came out of the blue. Like, I don't know where this came from. That's why I always say I just attribute it to God, because I'm like, that had to be the Lord who gave me a dream or spoke to me,
Yes.
in the, but I said, I'm not going to drink another soda. Do you know from that day forward, I have never experienced back problems ever again. And my back stopped breaking out.
That's
And I
so
was like,
amazing.
wow, that was just from me stopping sodas. You know,
Hmm.
said that, I thought about that, like, wow, wow, just in our own eating, we can change a lot of things that we go through.
Yes, and I think that's wonderful. And I think that is such a touchstone is that if you just change one thing right now, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be this huge change right now. It can be one thing, such as the soda,
Yeah.
because I know it's such a big thing to grasp. Health in general is such a big thing to grasp, if you don't feel like you're there or you don't feel for some reason you can do it. Like if you just change that one thing, like soda, or maybe like let's try drinking 8 glasses of water a day, or just like the tiniest thing that
That's
we can handle now this week. I
yeah.
think that makes a big difference, and that's putting the right foot forward on your journey.
Yeah. That's good. So you just mentioned that. So it's suggested that we should do 8 glasses of water per
Mhm.
day.
So
Okay.
8 glasses of water is recommended by the U.S. dietary guidelines. I mean, if you can get more, I mean, the more water, the better. And I'll tell you from personal experience, when sometimes I'll challenge myself to drink, dare I say, a gallon of water a day for a week. Guys,
Wow.
the difference in my skin
Wow.
is amazing. I mean, the bags under the eyes,
Wow.
amazing.
Wow. Wow. This is
Yeah.
awesome. Well, this is just so good because we're able to correlate our bodies and what we go through with what we eat. So I
Really, truly. And as you were saying, I think it's really important to remember the things that are God given to us. So the things that are growing out of the earth, I think are so good. And they're the things that are the most nutritious. Water, I mean, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, grains, like
yeah.
it makes such a difference.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes sense, like you said, things that are God given right from nature.
Hmm.
They heal us if we just eat them right.
Yeah,
So
like
that
if you get confused and you're like, well, I don't know. There's all this information. There's so much. Eat an
yeah,
apple.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like have
yeah,
some steamed broccoli and a piece of fish and some rice,
yeah,
like go
yeah.
for the basics. There's nothing wrong with that. It's delicious.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Hmm.
And I know you and I were talking yesterday, and that's one thing that you even touched on today just a minute ago about, just start somewhere. Start with the
Yeah,
basics. That's what this whole webinar is about. This series is about basics. Let us just help you to start, So
yeah,
I think that's so important. Just start somewhere.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. She says, "Wow, that's my challenge."
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's okay. We're all starting somewhere. So, and we're here to support each other. I mean, let your friends and family know where you're at or that you're doing this water challenge or, you're taking something refined out of your diet and be excited about it. And, other people tend to jump on that bandwagon too. If you're super excited about it or like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this water challenge. You want to do it with me? Usually people aren't going to say no.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about that before, the whole accountability thing,
Yes.
getting people around you to help you because especially starting out, like Margot and I talked about this too, but
Hmm.
you just need people to help you, help
Yes.
to motivate you and keep you motivated until you're just able to sustain it, yourself. But so that's
Yeah.
really, really good. So
And
can you, oh, so
oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead first.
I was just gonna say, and just to piggyback off that really quick, just like a tiny,
Yeah,
I text girlfriends every morning, some of my girlfriends that need just a little extra motivation, and I'm not saying I'm perfect because I need to be motivated by others too, but to find that person in your life, that really wants the change and just
yeah,
text them and say, hey, get it,
that's
girl, like drink that water or, just something little and
yeah.
that can inspire somebody's day to be amazing.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she says, Keisha Duncan says, I'm starting. She says
Yeah.
she's going to start. No soda, water.
Heck
It's hard,
yes.
but I'm going to do it.
You
So
can
yeah,
do it. You can do
yeah,
it.
yeah, you can. You can
You
do it.
can
And
do it.
what
I know
we
you
talked
can.
about yesterday, Margot and I was, start. And even if you just have a hiccup, let's say you have a hiccup, get right back on the journey. Don't say, okay,
Hmm.
I had a hiccup. I'm off the journey now. No, just you had a hiccup. It was a moment. Drink your soda, put it back up, and now let's go right back to the plan of the water. So,
Yeah. And I have to say with that, I have had experience, like it's taken me a long time to even say that to you because I've had so many days where it's like, oh, it was a bad day of eating. I'm just going to keep eating for the next couple of days. And you know what? That's okay because you're still on the right path because you're thinking about it and you're going to get there. If I made it here, you're going to make it here.
oh, I love that. I
Hmm.
love that. I love that. If I
Yeah.
made it, you're going to make it here. So, you guys, that was great for all of us. If she made it here, then we're going to make it. Amen.
We can all do it.
Yeah, we can all do it.
Hmm.
So, can you tell us about some of the different eating lifestyles or changes or diets that people do that possibly could help some of us?
Yes, I would love to do that. So I've chosen 5 diets that I feel like are pretty popular right now that people are hearing about, that are kind of everywhere in the news or on social media, or just things that like our friends are doing. Or I've cooked so many different kinds of ways for different lifestyles and different people. Um, so I'm very lucky to have dabbled in quite a few of them. But the first three are somewhat similar to each other and kind of coincide together. So I thought I'd talk about those three first together. So
Okay.
we have, I'll just go ahead and name them and then I'll talk about them.
Okay.
So we have the keto diet, we have the paleo diet, and we also have Whole30. And I wanted to bring these to everybody's attention because, like I said, I think they're really big right now. And I think that they can be kind of confusing for people. And some people get them confused and aren't quite sure what they are and think, well, oh, aren't the three of those the same thing? So I thought maybe, like, let's
Okay.
talk about those really quickly.
Okay.
So let's start with keto. And excuse me, I am going to be looking at my notes over here. I'm so
No,
sorry.
you're totally
Um,
fine.
but so the keto diet, it's the ketogenic diet. It's a diet that originated in the 1920s, and it was originally made for children with epilepsy. So it treated small children that had epileptic fits, which is really interesting. And it's a high fat diet, and it's very low in carbohydrates. So when you kind of eliminate carbohydrates from your diet, this causes the body to go into the state called ketosis. So this is basically the body is using your ketones for energy and instead of like carbs. So we're using our fat cells. So our body is using our fat cells as energy instead
Okay.
of the carbohydrates that we're eating like on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And it's a cool diet. And I think a lot of people lose weight quickly on that diet because of that, because it's burning the fat cells instead of carbohydrates that we're eating, which is what our body would normally want to burn first would be carbohydrates.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
I always ask this. So, can people sustain the keto diet over a lifetime? Like, is that for a lifetime or is it just for a diet?
Yeah, so keto is sustainable. There are studies done on people doing it long term, and I'm kind of wary of it. And again, like there's so many studies, and I haven't read all of them. You know, I am constantly consuming information, and information is always changing. There's always different studies, but you can do keto forever, and I haven't heard a whole lot of bad things as far as long term goes on
Okay.
that. I mean, that might be something you would want to research maybe a little more if this is an avenue you want to go. And I will talk about keto a little bit more. I was just going to get through
Okay.
definitely paleo, and then make it a very simple like what is the same about them and what's different.
Okay. Okay.
So let's talk. Can we move on to paleo? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
Totally fine.
Okay. So the paleo diet is a Paleolithic diet.
Okay.
So this is a diet that's been patterned after the Paleolithic era. So what we would have eaten as human beings in the Paleolithic era long ago. So it's really eliminated everything that we have cultivated as far as farming goes. So it would have been all the things we would have eaten before we would have even started farming. So like berries, nuts, like things like when we used to forage for food,
Okay.
um, meats,
Okay.
fish, stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, let me look over here. So it really also advocates eating whole foods in their whole forms, like fruits and vegetables, um, whole grains, those kinds of things. Um, so those diets are the most similar. And I'm going to tell you what they both have in common, what both diets will allow. And
Okay.
then I'll tell you what's like omitted from them.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
great.
yeah.
Okay. So both diets allow healthy meats. We can have fats. We can have oil from fruits, oils from nuts, fish, eggs, spices, That's pretty much what you're eating. So you're really just stripping out all refined foods is what's
Okay.
happening here.
Okay.
Um,
So is that
so
no processed foods?
right.
Okay.
So most all foods that are processed have some kind of additive, some kind of chemicals that alter them or preserve them in some kind of way.
Okay.
So these diets are really just both of them are really focusing on the bare essentials, the basics. So meats, all kinds of meats, fish. We're gonna omit things like deli meat. We're not eating deli meat. We're not eating sausage. We're not eating things that are processed in that kind of way. So you might eat a steak, you might eat a fillet of salmon. You know, you're keeping your meats whole. They're not broken down.
Okay. Okay. So no bacon, no hot dogs or things like that.
Right. Yes. And no, none of those things. Why are you laughing?
Because I
Um,
love those
I
things.
know, I know, I know, I know, but you see where I'm going here with this.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. Um, so omitted from both of them, things like flour, refined flours,
Okay.
are omitted. The keto diet doesn't really allow very many grains because obviously grains have carbohydrates in them,
Okay.
which is something they're trying to eliminate, which is pushing your body into that ketosis
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
Um, Sugar, so we're not eating anything with added sugar in these diets. So again, most processed foods have sugar is an additive and it's used as a preservative most of the time, if
Wow.
not just to make something sweeter and make us want it more.
Okay.
And corn is oddly omitted from both of these because corn has been modified. Corn is unfortunately a genetically modified food, which I love corn, but it is so genetically modified that it is not what it originally was. It's
Okay.
so different from its original form that they don't include it.
Wow.
Yeah, which is so interesting, right?
Yeah, that is interesting. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the differences between these two diets. So fruit is allowed on the paleo diet. So that Paleolithic diet, when we were foragers and we used to like find berries and fruit and bananas and like we can eat those things on that diet, which is super cool. We cannot eat those on the keto diet because fruit is sugar, and there's carbohydrates in fruit. So like
Oh,
so
wow.
that would take us out of that ketosis situation, which is what we're trying to be in when we're in that, which again is burning fat cells instead of the carbs that we're eating on a daily basis.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Didn't know that.
And then dairy is allowed on the keto diet, but it's usually omitted from the paleo diet. So again, if we go way back in history, we weren't getting milk from cows like when we were foraging. That came along with farming. So
Uh,
maybe a little dairy, and usually if you do have any dairy on that diet, it's usually like goat milk or like a goat cheese or from an animal that also has not been modified as a cow has been throughout the years, to be what it is now.
yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Was
So
that
I
too much?
No, no, that was great. That was some great information, even things I didn't know. So so for the keto diet, and you were talking about like the fruits and things because they have sugar
Mm-hmm.
and because they have carbohydrates in them. So my question is, what do they, I guess, replace since they're not having fruit?
Yeah. So yeah, you're really not able to eat very much sugar at all. So
Right.
this is really focused, this particular diet is really focused on eating proteins.
Okay. Okay.
hmm So we're eating a lot of protein and we're eating a lot of vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what are the benefits, or were you going to get to that later?
Oh, yeah, no, we can totally talk about that.
So what are the
Well,
benefits of those two diets?
yeah. So the benefits for both of these diets, I would say, obviously, like it's really cool if you're epileptic, like it can help with having seizures, which is
Okay.
really interesting. And I honestly can't explain the science behind that because I'm not so sure on that end because I'm more on the food end of things.
Okay.
Um, but I think that's pretty fascinating. And the fact that when you take all these both of these diets, right? We're taking all this processed food out of our diets. We're gonna the bloat is gonna come out of our body. We're gonna
Mm,
naturally lose weight. You
okay.
know, we're probably going to sleep better on both of these since we're taking out all this refined stuff that we're probably putting in our bodies on a daily basis that is no longer going to be there. Things like dyes, you know, can affect all of us in funny ways, especially children. Like red dyes have been known to stimulate children that have ADHD and ADD.
Mm,
So, I mean, even as adults, I'm sure it could affect us in those ways too. But I have seen the studies on the children with ADD and ADHD and dyes, particularly red dye. But I find that really fascinating too.
okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Didn't know that either. Okay. Okay. So those are some good pros
Yeah,
about.
so those are the two. And then the third one in this first group, like the grouping that I'm going to do, is Whole 30. And I wanted to include this because I think it's also something that people talk about quite often. It's kind of like a catchphrase, and people might not super grasp like what it is. But Whole 30 is more of it's a 30-day detox, really. So maybe instead of a lifestyle change, it's a small amount of time that you're doing this to eliminate things to feel better. So like maybe if I was going to do paleo or keto, I might do whole 30 first to try it out. So
Okay.
whole 30 is like it's highly structured for 30 days. It's a 30-day plan. It eliminates all trigger foods. So if you're somebody who finds yourself craving sugar
Yeah.
or salt, potato chips, just you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
or like soda, like you're just craving it, it's eliminating things that are like sugar and like high salty foods as well as refined foods.
Okay.
It's so it's taking out all processed foods again. This diet is pretty much you can eat grains, you can eat fruits, you can eat vegetables, you can have unrefined meat products again, so no deli meats or hot dogs or sausage or anything, whole meats. And
Okay.
then it's eliminating all refined sugars as well. You can have as much fruit as you want, just nothing like refined sugar wise.
Okay.
Um, so I think that this is awesome for people that feel like they don't know where to start, um, because I think if you once you start like from the very beginning, you track from the very beginning to the end of that 30 days, which isn't a significant amount of time, right? Like that's not a super I mean, I think that's obtainable for most people. You
Yeah.
can really see the difference in how you're feeling, you
Okay.
know, and then you can make those changes
Okay.
that you've made
Okay.
here, you know, or be like, you know what, I don't need to eat that cake every day.
Yeah.
I think I'll eat a bowl of grapes instead.
Yeah.
You know, like it can really like change your mindset on food
Yeah.
in that tiny window and then make you want to live a different lifestyle, to make healthy eating a part of your daily lifestyle, so it's not a diet, it's not a fad, it's not a 30-day thing. It's
Yeah.
I'm going to do this for my well-being overall.
Yeah. I love that idea though. I love,
Mhm.
and it kind of reminds you of transitioning into something.
Yes,
So,
I love that. It's a wonder.
that-
Yes,
yeah,
like
I think that's a,
transitional period.
yeah. And then
A
you
lot,
can see, like you said, what works and what doesn't.
yeah, a lot of people do this. Like you'll see a lot of people do this in the new year, at the beginning of the new year, the first 30 days of the new year. I'm sure everybody will see this everywhere, or you'll see signs up when you're going grocery shopping. Like, I don't know if you're at Target, Walmart, I don't, Food Lion, whatever. Like, you know, you'll see the whole 30. There's like a little logo. You'll see it on everything, which I
Yeah.
don't think is bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I see it a lot, but I didn't know, what it was either. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good that you
Yeah.
explained. So Crystal Smith said, I did the whole 30 for like 14 days only. Epic fail.
No, it's not a fail. 14 days is wonderful. You did half of the 30. And you know what, girl? If that's where you started, that's where you started. I think that's great.
That's
Maybe try
right.
for 30 again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just because we didn't complete something one time, why would we ever stop if we wanted, you know? Like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna win if you stop, if you just stop. You can totally
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I like that though. That's a great idea because I've been thinking of doing something for 30 days to like help with the transitioning to see like what to cut back on, what to do. So I think that's an awesome idea. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's great. So we have the first three,
Yeah.
and that was the keto,
Yep.
um, and that was the
Paleo.
paleo. Okay, and then the whole
The
30.
whole 30. I just threw that in there. I thought that was fun because it's more of, I know it's not like a lifestyle change, but it's like a 30-day cleanse, we'll say. We'll
Yeah,
call
that's
it.
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's good. And that's good too for people like you said who may want to detox, or
Mhm.
you can do it's for a different a range of reasons that someone could do that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I thought we could also talk about the Mediterranean diet. Just that's been around for so long and it's so high up there on ways people are eating and have been eating. So
okay,
I believe it was in the 70s there was this study done on the blue zones, and the blue zones all around the world are the places where people have been living the longest. So these scientists and researchers would go into these different places around the world where people were living to be hundreds or older even, and we're walking and we're just, what, why were these people living longer than everybody else? And I mean, it was food, and we're going to talk about the food, but it's also community. It's also all these other things, spirituality. It's all these other things that connect together. And that's why I love what you're doing so much, is because I know you're taking all these things in accountability, which
yeah,
really make a
yeah,
person whole.
yeah,
Um, so they found that these things like community were helping, but they really focused in on these diets. Like, what are these people eating? Um, and they found the Mediterranean region, people were living quite long here. And so this diet focuses on fruits and vegetables. Again, like, do we see a pattern here? I think we do. So lots of fresh fruits, lots of vegetables. We've got tomatoes, we have cucumbers, we've got zucchini, we've got all these beautiful, vibrant fruits and vegetables around us in the Mediterranean area. We also have tons of fish. So these people are eating lots of fish, which is wonderful. They're not so much eating any red meat. So red meat is kind of omitted or eliminated to once or twice a month. They're eating chicken, they're eating fish, light, lean proteins, really. They're eating fat, they are eating good fat. So we have like whole yogurts, we
okay,
have olive oil, which is a saturated fat, but in moderation. We don't want to use a cup of oil on our food, but in moderation, it's great. Um, they're eating things like nuts, like fatty nuts, which is wonderful also. So this is also a good diet for longevity. This will also help. This has also been shown to help people kind of eliminate things again like sugar from their diets, like refined sugars. They're eating more fruit-based desserts instead of cakes and things like that.
okay.
So we are seeing a pattern here with that, right? Lots of fresh herbs.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
Hmm.
fresh food. Yeah. So they do more so things that are fresh and just a light or lean protein.
Yes, that's correct. And their protein portions are much smaller than us. So instead of maybe eating, I don't know, what, 8 ounces of fish, they might be eating 6 ounces or even 4 ounces of fish, which is a much smaller portion than you would think.
Wow.
But the rest of their plate is full of vegetables and whole
Wow.
grains.
Wow.
So, and if we fill our plates with more veggies and have that little piece of fish and then, like, you know, some grains, uh, we're in a lower calorie deficit, which is also going to help us lose weight too.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because I was that was good because I was going to ask what would be the benefit of that. Okay. So
Hmm.
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
generally they're in a calorie deficit, not a big one, but just enough where it's like they're not eating more calories than their body needs, maybe just a little bit less, which is keeping them in a healthy, you know, body weight category.
okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And so that type of diet or lifestyle will help for people who are, wanting to see maybe, like you said, longevity. Is that
Yeah.
what you say? And okay, so longevity and um, and helping with the weight as well.
Yeah, and I do believe that this diet is it's called a Mediterranean diet, but I think it also has been coined like the longevity diet. Like I've heard it called a couple things, and I do believe that's one of the like key term phrases for them.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yay.
Yay. That was
Should I
good.
move
Okay.
on to the last
Yeah,
one?
that's
Okay,
fine.
cool. And so the last one, of course, I had to talk to you guys about the vegan diet, right?
Right.
So which is different from all the other diets because we're eliminating all meat here. We're eliminating all dairy here. Um, we're eliminating things like honey because an animal has produced that. So this
Uh,
diet again is it's this is I want to say this is very healthy, but I feel like I could say that about all these diets that we've talked about. And I think each diet is definitely a personal choice. And this particular diet is a lot of times driven by personal choices,
okay.
like politics that we don't have to get into here. But
Okay.
again, um, plant based, vegetable based. We're eating lots of veggies here. We're eating rice. We're eating grains. We're eating things like tofu to replace meat. We're eating seitan, which is a protein derived from grains, so like wheat.
Okay.
So if you haven't had it, it's really good. I'm gonna make it for you if you haven't had it.
Yeah, I haven't had it, so yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
yes. Oh my gosh, we should do a you try on here
Oh
sometime.
yeah, yeah. That would be nice. That would be
hmm
great. Yeah, we have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
This is
again,
so interesting with this vegan diet as you begin to teach us, because almost everyone, when I started this transition, almost everyone that I have met or talked to is vegan. even,
really,
even that has come on, done this webinar, and I'm like, Lord, is this a sign? Because I'm just like, vegan. So yeah, it's so many people who are, vegan who have turned and, changed to this lifestyle.
that's so interesting. And I don't think it's for everybody. I don't I don't really advocate for a particular diet for anybody because I think we all need to make our own choices. Each body is different and we each feel better, feel differently. I just think it's important that we are all going in a healthy direction.
Yeah,
And this is a fun diet though to try too. And if you're not a big vegetable eater, this is a fun way to try out new vegetables, beans, and different kinds of rices, and just like different pasta. Like there's so many different things out there that you may not try if this
yeah,
isn't.
yeah. So with the vegan diet or lifestyle, you don't eat anything that comes from animals, so
No.
eggs or anything.
That's right. Yeah. So no eggs. We're not eating any kind of yogurt here. We're not eating any milk, no cheese, which I think is a big,
Uh,
um, puts a lot of people off that they can't have cheese here. There are a lot of great alternatives now for this diet. But again, like I don't want to say it's bad to have like a vegan cheese, but like again, you can be vegan and eat a ton of processed food just as you do on the standard American diet. So it's really you kind of have to forge your way and find your way here because I think eating whole is the best choice for all of us, no matter if we're eating meat or we're not eating meat, as long as I think we're incorporating like grains and vegetables and fruit into the diet and not just refined foods. That's
yeah,
great. We need those fibers, we need those sugars,
yeah.
like naturally occurring.
Okay. So anything more?
I don't think so. Did I say enough about that?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
good. I think that was one of the huge things for me, because I've been looking up just like the different lifestyles too, and for the vegan, just no animal, nothing from animals, and I was like nothing, because the meat thing. So okay, so the difference. Let me ask you this: so the difference between vegan and vegetarian.
Yeah.
So with vegetarian, what would be like, if you would say, to like sum it up, what would be the difference between the two of those?
Yeah. So we have vegetarian and then we have these like little subcategories of vegetarian. So we have vegetarians who are going to eat dairy, they're going to eat fish, they're going to eat dairy and fish, they're going to eat animal byproducts like um, cheese and eggs and
Okay.
honey.
Okay.
Um, so a vegetarian will eat all of those things. They're really just omitting meat. Like even a lot of vegetarians will have like bone broth or something. So they're
Okay.
okay with animal byproducts, just not um, like they'll eat fish too, but not like I don't know, chicken, beef,
Yeah.
like solid animals. So the subcategories of those would be like pescatarian. So this is just a vegetarian that only eats fish. Or
Okay.
we have a lacto-ovo vegetarian, which only eats dairy. So they're not going to eat fish. They're not going to eat any chicken stock or bone broth or any kind of other byproducts, but they will have dairy and eggs.
Okay.
I know that's kind of confusing. Like that's a lot, but if you really want to get into it, like there are subcategories of that. So the
Okay.
difference really between vegetarian and vegan is vegan will eat nothing produced, no animal or anything produced by an animal. So no milk, no eggs, no honey. So that's
Okay.
really the biggest difference.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So that was great. So now about the meal prep. I know we talked about that some, and just what what can people do who are on the go? You
Mm-hmm.
know, there are so many of us who are busy, and as time continues to tick, it seems like we're getting more busy, which is good. We have a lot of things that's going on, but we need things that we can do on the go that is quick. So
Right.
what can you tell us about meal prepping?
Yeah. So let me start here. I know that prepping, whether you are changing your lifestyle as far as food goes, or you're doing like the Whole 30 or whatever you may be doing, I know that this can be so daunting to a lot of people, and it can feel like it's taking so much time. So my first tip would be to be organized. So I might find some recipes on like organize a board on Pinterest or something. Or I mean, I write down things. Or if I'm in the dentist's office and I see a recipe in a magazine, I ask them if I can take it. Or I take a picture with my phone. Or I have a wall full of cookbooks. So I will go through and organize things that I would really like to try. Or if I have a great coupon, you know what I mean? If it is triple coupon day at the Harris Teeter, and I know there's one or two things I really want, I'm going to make sure those are in my meal plan for the week.
Okay.
So, firstly, I would meal plan for the week. I would make a menu for the week, what you want to make for your family and what you want to have in your house. So, when
Okay.
you do that and you organize a grocery list for yourself, you're setting yourself up for success, right? We're not going to the grocery store hungry, just grabbing stuff, having kids in our car, grabbing cereals, just the things that we're trying to omit from our diets. We have a list, we're going to stick to that.
Yeah.
Um, and also, if that's kind of overwhelming, I always tell people to stick to the three things. So we usually want to have a protein, right? Easy,
Hmm.
whether that's plant-based protein, not plant-based protein, doesn't matter. Just we'd like to have some protein on the plate. If we're not doing like ketogenic, we want to have a carbohydrate. We'd love to have a carbohydrate that's not refined. So maybe like let's try some brown rice out. Or if we want pasta, like why don't we try a gluten-free pasta or a whole grain pasta or something different? Or if we want to get really wild, like let's try farro or a grain we've never tried before. That's always fun too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we want to have a protein, we want to have a carbohydrate, and then we want to have vegetable. We want to have any vegetable. Like what's in season is always great and usually the cheapest, which is wonderful. So I try to always have those three things, for people unless they're going like keto or something. So that's just easy for me in my brain to organize like what I want to have.
Yeah.
Um, and then can I talk about what we talked about
Yeah.
the other day?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So well, okay, I'm going to come to that. So, and then I think it's really great for people to have a day that they prep for the whole week, right? So this
Yeah.
makes it easy. If it's an evening, if it's just Sunday evening, so let's say you can set aside time from like 12 to 5. I know it's hard to find that time, but I'm telling you, if you can find time to prep for yourself and your family, you are going to set yourself up for success. Because let me tell you, if it's not there and you are hungry, you're going to go grab something from McDonald's or wherever the thing is that you want, whatever comes into your head. Like that's just how we're built, and that's how we are. And I have experienced that in my own personal life. And then I get down on myself, and then you know what, I made it 14 days, but you know what, I can't make it another day because I wasn't prepared. I didn't prepare myself,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know and
Yeah.
so that's hard. So I think being prepared is best. And
Yeah.
if you have even less time, we talked about this the other day, the Instapot is amazing.
Yeah.
I or a slow cooker is wonderful. I mean, because you can prep all your veggies and put them in a Ziploc at the beginning of the week, throw that in the crock pot in the morning on Tuesday, and then it's ready for dinner on Tuesday night. So we
Wow.
just need to get organized and find something that works for us. And for me, that's how I think. I cook all kinds of food. I cook elaborate foods for people. I do all kinds of stuff. But for
Yeah.
me in my own personal life, I don't have a lot of time at home and I want to eat healthy. And I use my Instapot quite often, or my crock pot, or whatever that might be, because that sets me up for success. Was that
Yeah.
helpful?
Yeah, and I think the key word, that one of the key words that you said for meal prepping, and for those of you, when I say meal prepping, I'm saying like what can help, as Chef Margo said, what can help set us up so that we don't fall or we don't go back into bad habits. And I
Hmm.
think one of the key words you said for meal prepping, when I think of, is helping us to be prepared, to
Yeah.
prepare. So when you're prepared, when you're not prepared, like she said, you can, when you get hungry, you're going to go out and find the first thing that, whatever is on your mind, whether it's McDonald's,
Hmm.
Chick-fil-A, whatever it is, you're going to go to it because you're hungry, and you're
Yeah.
in the, but meal prepping helps you because it helps you to prepare for your week. You already have everything. You go out and get everything. And one of the things that you can do with meal prepping is just taking a day of the week and prepping your food, which is something that I've seen Chef Margo do,
Hmm.
as she's a chef for many people, but just prepping the food for the week. And then once you prep your food, you store it, put it in the fridge, and you can go back during whatever day you want to have it, and you can just put it in the oven, boom, just a few minutes, and it's done. Something
Hmm.
simple, but it helps for people who are on the go. So many people are doing meal prep deliveries and companies and
Yeah.
businesses now, because it's so helpful to be able to already have that, set aside so that you can eat it and you're done. So yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I do have one more thing to add. I have to
Yeah.
say, when I have a really great meal prepping week for us here at my house, I am so proud of myself when I open that refrigerator and I have my lunch ready to go with me for the day. And I am just like, yeah, girl, you did it for you. You did it
Yeah.
for you. And I am so excited, and
Yeah.
it gets me stoked about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get through that day and I'm not going to have whatever it may have been, or,
Yeah.
and it just feels really good. It's a great place to be. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited for everybody to try that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm so excited too. I think it's such a great idea. And you're so right. When you have prepped something and you've prepped it whatever day or overnight, and you get up the next day, it is a great feeling to already have everything set in place. And it helps you, like you said, it helps you not to go out and get those things that we know we shouldn't have. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I absolutely love meal prepping. I think it's good. It's so beneficial, you guys, and it will help you, especially you're a person who is on the go, or you have.
Yeah.
I heard a testimony the other day from someone who's a housewife who stays at home with the kids, and she was saying, she is so busy with her kids, but her Instapot is a lifesaver because she can just throw something in there, and
Hmm.
she will tend to the kids, leave it in the Instapot, and it basically cooks itself. So, and it cooks itself in half the time.
Hmm.
That
And then it will hold itself at its temperature, so
Yeah,
you don't have to be like, oh crap, that's gonna burn, or oh crap, dinner's
yeah,
in 3 hours. It will hold it or even a crock pot, it keeps it warm at the temperature it needs to be and is ready to go whenever. Or if you have kids that are coming and going, like maybe you have a kid that just comes straight home from school, maybe you have a kid that's doing sports or coming from the Y. So like you have people in and out at all these different times.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, it gives you more time. You don't have to take the time to prepare this. If you have a 10-year-old, you can say, hey, grab yourself a plate. It's in the Instapot, and it's ready at any time,
Yeah. I
which is,
love that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, Juanita Thomas says meal prepping is an excellent choice to keep you on track.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is an excellent choice to keep us on track. That's the whole key. Um, Maya Wilkins Chadwick, who was
Oh,
our guest last week, she said great information.
oh, Maya, that's awesome.
Yeah. So yes, we thank you so much. This has been so great. You going over all the diets and lifestyles that we can, look up, research more,
Yeah.
and try out, based on our individual needs. So this
Yeah.
has been so great. And then the meal prepping, which is so important. So time it just flew by.
Yeah,
um,
it did. I feel like we could talk for like 2 more hours if
I
we
know,
had
me
it.
too. Me too. I so feel like that. And I'm like, wow, it's time. It's flew by. But yeah, it just feels like just a simple dialogue, which we're having. And this is, what we do to help you, to help everyone out there who are transitioning into this healthy living. And as Chef Margo said, just start out the basics. Just do, if you're saying sodas, like we know that Keisha Duncan said she's gonna quit sodas and do
Okay,
water,
you do that, girl.
So
I'm excited to see your progress. I'm
yeah,
checking in with Elizabeth.
she's gonna check in with me. So we're gonna check on you. So that's so great. I love that. Start somewhere, and so that's what we want to see. So we're
Hmm.
so glad that this webinar has helped you tonight, and that it's helping people every day. So we're so thankful to God for that, because He's the one that said,
Yeah.
"Hey, get people on the platform and get them to teach Christians how to live healthy." We talk the Bible and we believe in supernatural healing, and sometimes God just wants us to change our eating. Amen. So this is what we're going to do. Hallelujah. If that's what He's speaking to you. So we want to
Yeah.
make sure that we're obedient to Him. And so we're so excited. Keisha Duncan said, okay.
Oh, good. Cool.
And she says, yes, thank you both for this. So
Oh,
you're absolutely welcome. And so, you guys, you also have Chef Margot's contact information right there on the screen. Make sure you go and check her out. I love your website, by the way.
oh,
Um,
thank you.
yeah. So make sure you go and check her out. She's on Instagram and she has her website. If you have any questions, you can contact her from either of those platforms. So we have a great giveaway. I'm so excited about the giveaway tonight.
Me too.
Um, so what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to give it into the hands of Chef Margo, but we concocted a plan,
We did.
and it was a great plan. So we were going to do dinner for two, but most of you guys are not in the area. So this is another great plan, probably even better. So what we're going to do is Chef Margo we're actually going to do like a maybe you could say a consultation with you to see where you are, whoever the winner is, and we'll see where you are with your transition, what it is that you're trying to do. She's going to basically do a recipe for you, and we are going to have groceries delivered to you so that you can basically go over and do her recipe, and we're going to send that to you. So I think that is such a great idea.
I'm so
I wanted to
excited.
speak on that too. There's for meal prepping, there are apps that you can use. I use an app sometimes called Instacart, and there are apps you can use that will deliver your groceries. So if you are a person who is on the go and you're very busy, you can use these apps, and they will have the groceries ready, so you can just pull up and pick the groceries up from whatever supermarket or store you're ordering from, or they will deliver it right to your house. You guys, I'm telling you, this us being quarantine and all that has really produced some great ideas. And so I absolutely love these different platforms, but we have partnered together. She's going to do the recipe, come up with the recipe that will cater to you, and then we are
Yep.
going to send these groceries to you so that you
Yes.
can prepare and cook this meal for you to help you get started on your healthy living journey.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
so excited for you guys.
so
Yeah.
excited. Yeah, so we are so excited for you. And she's going to take over and we're going to choose a winner.
Yeah. So I was thinking, I didn't want to make this too complicated for myself because I don't know. So I
Yeah.
thought we would go with the numbers thing where I'm gonna, I guess you guys will write a number in the description and I'm gonna send a private number to Elizabeth, like to Elizabeth, right? And then
Yeah.
whoever's either closest, I guess, or picks that number will be the winner.
All
Yeah.
right. I'm
Cool.
excited, you guys. Now, I would want this if I were you guys. I think this is an awesome prize. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
we're
so fun.
excited for you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, she's going to private chat me the number and she's going to give you a range from what number to what number. And you guys have to guess it.
Okay, so the range, I'm gonna say 1 to 20.
Okay. So 1 to 20, you guys. 1 to 20. So begin to give your numbers. Only do it one time now. Don't guess about 30 different numbers. Only one guess. So 1 to 20. And Margot is going to private chat me
Okay.
and let me know the number. Okay, got it. So going from 1 until 20, you pick a number. From 1 to 20. So whoever gets the number or gets closest to the number, she's going to do a recipe that's going to be specialized just for you. And then we are going to have the recipe, the groceries for that recipe delivered directly to your front door. Okay, so we don't have the number guess, but we have the closest.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner is Linda Brown.
Linda! I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Congratulations, Linda. You have won the groceries and the recipe from Chef Margo. And it's going to
Okay.
be delivered right to your front door so that you can cook this recipe and start your journey on healthy living. So we're actually going to get together, do a consultation with you. She's going to see where you are, what it is that you're wanting to do. And then she's going to actually prepare a recipe, which she does so well. She's, you know,
Oh, so fun.
so I've had to get her now to say, okay, now Chef Margo, I need you to help me.
Oh, you are so kind of me, Elizabeth.
Yeah. So she's going to prepare this recipe for you. Oh,
Linda. Oh, Linda.
oh my God. So she's going to prepare this recipe for you, and we're going to have the grocery shipped directly to you. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and you can cook this meal at home and start your journey. We're so
Yes.
excited. Awesome giveaway, you guys. I'm so excited about it. Yeah. So everyone is saying congratulations, Linda. Yeah.
Congratulations, Linda.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you all tonight. We're so excited again. Congratulations, Linda. Yes. She says awesome. Awesome.
Oh,
So you're so welcome. Congratulations again. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I know time goes by so fast.
yeah.
Thank you, Chef Margo. You have been
Oh, my.
to just give and sacrifice your time with us tonight because I know you are so busy. I mean, you're chef to so many people. So
Oh, my
thank you.
gosh. You
And
know,
you
I
guys,
love you. I love you, Elizabeth. Thank you
I love
so
you
much
too.
for
Yeah.
having me. And it's so much fun.
It is fun. It's been so much fun. It's been a blast tonight. And you guys, she is not no, I mean she is a chef of chefs. So
Oh, you are
she,
so sweet.
she's a high caliber chef, you guys. So when I tell you you're getting a great chef and you're getting great recipe, I don't want to tell all her business, but she has some high profile clients. So I'm telling you, this is just a blessing for her even to come on tonight. So
Oh, my
thank you
goodness.
so much. I don't take that lightly. Don't take it for granted. And yeah, you were awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you all. It was so much fun.
Yes, yes. Crystal Smith said this was awesome. Thanks, Chef Margo, and thank you, Prophet.
Oh,
You're so welcome.
that's
Yes.
awesome.
Juanita Thomas says yes. Thank you, Chef Margo.
Oh, you are all too sweet. Can I come back? This is fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have you back because time went by so fast. So we'll have to have you back. Yeah.
Cool.
But thank you so much. Love you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much for coming on the
It was
platform.
lovely. It was lovely.
Yeah, you've been awesome. And again, congratulations, Linda, and
Yeah.
congratulations to everybody for starting
Yeah.
your journey. We're
Yes,
excited.
you can all do it. I'm so excited for everybody to keep forging forward and just get it.
Yeah, yeah. So
You
we're
got
excited.
it.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, you guys. Love you. Have a good night.
Bye. Thank you.